Welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy. Today we're going to be talking about a Scotch, a Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey. This is the Speyburn companion cask. Did come in a nice, nifty, overdone box. I don't know if I've given you on this on the off the rip, but we're going to give you some of that. It is non-chill filtered and no color added. Non-chill filter and natural color, same difference. There's the back. Little history behind all that and that. There's nothing on the sides or the bottom. So now that we're done with that, thank you very much. On with the show. So this is a Speyburn. Now Mr. Randy has tried a few of the other expressions, including the rum cask, the 10-year, and the Braden Auroch. Now, I do understand that there is a regular bourbon finish. I guess that's just basic standard. Haven't seen it, but it did show up on their website while me doing a little bit of research. They do have a 15, a 16, an 18, and I believe there are two more. As I understand it, this companion cask is only sold in the United States. Now, the one special thing about this companion cask is that it is finished in ex-bourbon barrels, but specifically the Buffalo Trace barrels. So when they empty out the Buffalo Trace barrels, they kind of sell them over here to Speyburn. And it does say that in a couple of different places. It only says ex-bourbon, but on the website it does tell you that they are specifically, yeah, it doesn't say it on the bottle nor the box, but on the website and, well, word of mouth and directly from the horse's mouth, it tells you indeed that they do use the Buffalo Trace barrels. Kind of a weak cork, but that's not a big deal. Let's go and get a pour on. Now, Mr. Randy did pay $59, just under $59 out the door, so it did stay underneath his $60 price ceiling. It's got a very nice light color, but let's break out Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale. Upside down. I swear this is the first drink I've had of the day. Off camera, this is going to come in at a I think we'll just peg it at an old gold. Yeah, it's too light for the amber, but it's good for the old gold. On the nose, it's got that lovely Speyburn Scotch, that single malt Speyburn from the River Spey. Also, if you've had enough Buffalo Trace, you can actually pick up some of that Buffalo Trace. It's in there. It's very light. It's in there, kind of on the delicate side for that much. But there's a lot of the regular Speyburn coming out. On the nose, there's the sweetness, but there's like two different kinds. Like you got the Scotch sweetness, and then you got the bourbon sweetness. Swirling in the vanilla, the honeys, the light fruits. I do say that on paper, these two kind of a matchup. Do very well. On the nose, I'd say it's okay. There's just, it feels like there's something missing. Something that really pulls them both together. I think they're trying to fight each other for dominance. But like I said, that Buffalo Trace, it's in there. That one's more on the delicate side. Enough of the talk. Let's get on the palate because I'm salivating. On the palate, there is kind of an odd, fruity, light fruit, sweet Scotch. And again, I think the palate is going to probably match up with the nose, where these two sides are going to kind of fight each other. Because you get that bourbon sweet oakiness from the bourbon. And then you can also try and, it's like I'm teetering back and forth between the Speyburn Scotch and the bourbon, and the Buffalo Trace bourbon. Let me get one more on the palate. Yeah. It's very much like it's teetering back and forth. Not quite the Scotch, not quite the bourbon. Kind of interesting. Not bad. Nothing too extremely special, but it tastes like maybe you poured a Scotch after you poured the bourbon, and it's got a little bit of that bourbon taste still in the glass. That's about what you get. Let me go ahead and get a finish on this. Let's get it going. Ooh, okay. A little something special on the finish. I got to give it that. It's got a light tingly up front on the tip of the tongue. It's kind of migrating over the top towards the back. You get just a little bit on the roof. It's very juicy. It's very delicious. I don't detect a whole lot of fight between the two on the finish. I think the finish is where it finally, both of these things come together. Now the sides of the mouth are kind of like a little tingly, a little nummy. It's actually not a bad finish. Now let's put a score on this. But let's keep in mind, a lot of the good things, like it is non-chill filtered, no color added. Unfortunately, they didn't give us a age statement. I did forget to mention that this is a pot still Scotch, and it's made from 100% malted barley, which, you know, single malt. The price of it's about $60. It does come in an ABV of 46%, so you can see there's some bad with the good. The nose is a bit on the confusing side. The palate's not any much better. The finish is where it actually comes together and does some good. So unfortunately, my score is going to be a solid 3 out of 5. Can't really see myself giving it more than that, considering that for $60, the only thing I'm getting out of this, novelty-wise, is that it's matured in Buffalo Trace barrels. I think that's the one thing this thing is, I think, is really hanging on to for making it special. If they would have extracted that part out of it, I think this would be a better whiskey. And even though that's the biggest thing that kind of irks me, and what do you think about that? It says right there, it says matured in the finest American oak. Why didn't they just say it was Buffalo Trace? I mean, that's kind of the selling point. That's why it's $60 for this bottle, when others of its kind are cheaper than that. I'm sorry, less expensive. So what's my fair price? If $60 just ain't cutting it for this, what is? I'd say I'd like to pin this around 40. I think if I could extract the bourbon from this Scotch, I would, and then drink the Scotch. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the Buffalo Trace. It's very nice for a entry-level bourbon with extremely good qualities. Now, in my area, we can find the Buffalo Trace on shelves now more than we have in the past year or so. But the prices have gone up just a little bit here and there. Now, a lot of places you're going to find them plentiful on the shelf. They probably will be at a higher price. One shop around me does have plenty on the shelf, and they do sell them at a relatively, like, just sub $30. I think they're $27, $28 out the door. But they do limit you to 2 bottles per customer. The one place that says, hey, you can buy as much as you want, it's like $40-something. So yeah, I think that's a give and take on that part. But yeah, I don't think I'd feel better paying more than $40 for this bottle. Not saying it's bad, not saying it's worth it, but it's just not worth it for me. Let us know in the comments. Have you tried it? Did you like it? So we're going to top it off with the last part of this whole routine. Is would I buy it again? And the answer is no. I look forward to this bottle for quite a while when I started trying the Speyburn line. Knowing that this was out there, but not knowing where I could find it, where I could get it. Finally seeing it somewhere, I wanted to get it, but it was throttling that $60 line, so I kind of pushed it back, hoping that maybe there would be a sale, maybe there would be some kind of event. Unfortunately, I had to go full price on this, in my area at least, and it is what it is. So no, I won't be buying this again. Would I suggest you to buy it? If you're into the Speyburn line, abso-freaking-lutely. Would I try another Speyburn line that I haven't tried? Yes, I will. Well, as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy. You have a good one.